Hello and welcome. You're watching NewsX and I'm Sunil Yashkala. Today we are talking about IPL, yes. But before we get into today's IPL, let's look at what happened last night. Delhi Capitals got off to a winning start in IPL 2026, beating LSG by 6 wickets in Lucknow. The Asian, they put up a total of 142. DC cruised home with 17 balls to spare, powered by Sameer Rizvi's unbeaten 70. Rizvi and Stubbs stitched a match-winning 119 runs partnership to seal the victory at the Ikana Stadium. But the way we are talking about KL Rahul's first ball's dismissal, let's discuss some of the top moments. LSG versus Capital. Mukesh Kumar's brilliant spell. He took a 4 for 33, restricting LSG to a below par 159 for 6 after they were cruising at 87 for 1 at halfway mark. Abhishek Porel's explosive start, the young opener smashed 51 of 36 balls. Strong ball platform for and chase, putting DC in a commanding position early on. KL Rahul's composed 50 former teammates returning to Lucknow. Rahul scored an unbeaten 57 of 42 deliveries, anchoring the chase calmly. Let's talk about two of the well-known guests that we have in the studio with us, or joining us from Zoom is Noel David. Noel, we are looking at the match yesterday. Just take us through the top 3 moments that you thought were the prime time of the match last night. Your views.
Of course, Sunil. Naturally, it's the spell of, as you clearly mentioned, the spell of Mukesh. I think let's not forget Nigidia, the way he has bowled for Delhi Capitals yesterday. I think these slower ones, which were very effective. But overall, the captaincy, I love the captaincy of Akshar Patel. The why I say so is because the way he monitors on the field, the way he maneuvers his bowlers, the changes what he makes. That is what I love about Akshar Patel. He knows when to come in to bowl. And not to forget the batting. The loss of the first ball of the champion batsman, KL Rahul, didn't matter to them. But the way the other batsmen compelled themselves together, built a wee little partnership. I know there was a little collapse in between, but naturally, the one man will stand up at the end, and that's what happened. Overall, if I can tell about Delhi Capitals, I think they look like a great side in the initial, but when it comes to the finishing, that is where I want to see Delhi Capitals capitalizing themselves. Even last year, it did happen. They have played so well during the league off. When it came to the actual factor to win, that's where they lost out. I think this time they should capitalize all these moments.
Used to 26 for 4. Noel David, what do you think went wrong with Delhi Capitals? Do you think they've got a knack of getting themselves into trouble early on with the batting in the opening match? Your views?
Just said, this is where they lose out some matches. When they have to win these matches, they lose out, especially with easy teams,
Yes.
where they have to finish it, they end up losing. Even yesterday, could have, where the score was not much to chase, it was an easy score, 150. But in between that collapse, cruising well and then getting themselves into trouble, that's what where Delhi Capitals have to sit and on in the drawing room and think about it where they are losing those wickets when they need not to. I think this is important for Delhi Capitals if they want to win this championship. At least now they have to think about it.
Well, that's an interesting part. Let's move on to Aaron. Aaron, who's a commentator from Sri Lanka, who joins us with his cricketing insights. Just take us through on 3 occasions. What do you think was the bowling key, and what was the contest between the spinners and the pacers there? Aaron, welcome to the show.
Well, talking about the innings, I believe the seamers up front they did a pretty good job, especially Luke Giri. carrying out his form from the World Cup. He was absolutely brilliant, even during the T20 World Cup. So he brought in his experience and his form into this game as well. But we definitely can't keep away Natarajan. He was fantastic. I mean, the partnership between Natarajan and Ingidi really worked out well. So the Pacers, they played their part, and the senior partner Kuldeep Yadav, as always, he used to do this, like spin. He brought in all his experience and made sure that he supported the start that was provided by the
Right.
Pacers. So I believe it was a mixed combination of the Pacers and the spinners.
Well, absolutely. It was a combination. Well, of course, Noel David was very forthright talking about Kiri as well. Let's look at the other part of it. Do you think this is a sharp contest, and and this time it's not going to be a big hitting affair with big wickets, bigger hitters, and big scores? Do you think this is a very fiercely contested ball to ball kind of a thing, over to over, within an over things can change? Noel David, this time, what do you see the trend with the first five matches?
Looking at all these matches which happened in this IPL, I think this is what's going to happen. Ball to ball, bat and ball to bat. I think if you see the first match against the SRH, where the SRH, even they were collapsed. They collapsed, but after that, Ishan Kishan took over from there,
Right.
and then the second match also, where single-handed. But what I feel in this IPL is the lack of bowlers. Some teams are lacking in their bowling department,
That's correct.
which is which is I feel it's not going to happen. It shouldn't.
Noel David,
It's not going
just
to
for a minute,
contest
I'm
in
going to
this IPL.
interrupt you here. Forgive me for interrupting. With 20 extras playing a role in the modest chase, how significant were LSG's bowling discipline issues in deciding the outcome? 20 extras in a low contested, low scoring match. Your views. Please continue.
Don't you think this is too much? 20 extras in a 2020 format in a game giving away. That's too much for asking as a bowling unit, because when once you start doing this, then it becomes a chaos and a problem to the captain what to do, especially when you're playing against a big side like Delhi Capitals. So this is what I'm talking about. Most of the teams, even Chennai Super Kings, doesn't have a balanced bowling attack. Even SRH, you can't rely on your domestic bowlers. They know that they don't have the captain Pat Cummins, but where are the bowlers? You can't. This is where they are going to lose a lot of games. Even if SRH gets 250, 270, 280, they are bound to go lose that game because of their bowling. They
Well,
are up, even Chennai Super Kings. So I feel that in this tournament, I think there are lack of bowlers. I think most of the franchisees have chosen more of a batting unit than their bowling. They never strengthened their bowling side.
well, absolutely. And if you were the coach of a team that gave 20 extras, what would happen? We only could
God
wish.
bless them.
God bless them. Yes, you're right. Let's move on to today's match. Of course, match 6 of IPL 2026 brings us to the iconic Eden Gardens, where Kolkata Knight Riders and Sunrisers Hyderabad are searching for their first win of the season. Yes, both teams are in after an opening defeat, making it early pressure encounter. Expect a tactical adjustment. What about the head-to-head record? Matches played 30. KKR has won 20 and Hyderabad has won 10. Well, KKR have historically dominated this fixture, but let's look at today's first innings average score. Here is between 165 and 175. Noel David, when you have a team that has got some of the biggest power hitters of the game in both sides, what do you expect the score to be today? Will it cross 220 plus? Whoever bats, Noel David.
Good. Everyone are predicting SRH batting side, but if you see, if you take the last year also, the team depended on these two,
Batters.
yes, that's Travis Head and Abhishek Sharma, or slightly a little to Ishan Kishan, you
Yes.
know. But the main guy who is revolving with runs is Carlson. I really like this guy as a wicketkeeper batsman. If Abhishek Sharma or Travis Head gets out early, it is this guy who stands there in the middle to get those scores. But I feel in Calcutta wicket, I think the score is going to be, because the wicket is going to be a lovely wicket to bat. the ball will do a bit of it. What Because of the sea wind which comes into Calcutta also. But
Yes.
I feel it's going to be a pressure game because both sides are not both sides, but KKR is packed with both their batting and their bowling,
Uh,
where SRH will be having a bit of uh, trouble in the this thing because they can't depend on two or three batsmen. They have to depend on most of the guys contributing towards the end. They can't say Carlson or Ankit Sharma to come in the middle order to get those quick fire runs. No, it has to be a great opening partnership, which we all are depending, which all wants. That Trevor said, Apke bar, 300 par. It looks like this is the time to get it.
That's an interesting point you've made. Let me just get in, Erin, here. Spin becomes a very crucial part of this game, and of course, you've got to look at the way things have happened in the past. Spinners at this, of course, you can't get away from Sunil Narayan. What is your assessment of spin playing in today's match? Because the sharp bounce in the early on, and then suddenly you've got spinners who bring in their own pitch and turn the ball prodigiously. What is your view of the team and the game today?
When you talk about the spinners, well, when you come to the T20 shorter format, the spinners they do play a crucial role. I mean, keep aside the game or the conditions, they always come in the middle, or maybe even during the power plays, they used to create a lot of drama. Especially now, talking about the KKR team, there are two key spinners, Sunil Narayan and Varun Chakravarti. Well, there might be a question that comes up because Varun Chakravarti has not been in his best form during the past season in the World Cup as well. But what I believe is, especially with a senior partner like Sunil Narayan, if you talk about the Kolkata Knight Riders spinners, they're definitely going to play a key role. I believe that Sunil Narayan might get a chance with the new ball in hand, but still, depending on the conditions,
Yes.
whether they will be bowling first or bowling second. But I do believe that Sunil Narayan might get a chance to bowl during the power play, and if he does, he's definitely going to make a statement, I believe.
Absolutely, I agree with Dishan because I think this is the key point. It will be for Sunil Narayan to open because both are left-handers, and if the pace is taken out off, then the stroke making becomes very difficult for Abhishek Sharma and Travis Head, where they will find it difficult. I think the captain will be eyeing on this because, as Iran said, Varun Chakravarti is lacking that confidence. I think Sunil Narayan will be the guy with the new ball bowling the first over.
Well, absolutely. Varun Chakravarti, Sunil Narayan. I mean, these guys are mystery spinners. Let me just poke in something which let me sledge Noel David. Noel David, mystery spinners. When you were bowling off spin, what happened to the mystery spinners? What were they doing, and where did they all emerge from?
I think they were still in production when we were playing, when we were the orthodox off spinners and with the natural action. All these mystery spinners were still being in production stage. But it's great to see such spinners coming, ahead and taking the off spinner ahead, the spin department, especially Varun Chakravarti, from where he was a tennis ball player, bowling in some place where he used to play with tennis ball. I think it's nice to see such guy. Nice to see Sunil Narayan after all the controversies, after everything, he's still continuing playing the game of cricket. Still has the action, remodified his action, and still
Yes.
is one of the top class bowlers for KKR
Well,
and and
let's talk
in the
about the
world.
skipper as well. Noel David, let's talk about a skipper who's been proficient and absolutely excelling in the test match arena, and suddenly you find him leading one of the biggest teams with SRK at the helm and one of the iconic stadium, and yet he's in the middle of things. Do you think he's been chosen just because there were no other choices?
And who's this captain, Sunil?
Ajinkya Rane we were talking about.
Well, let me see. He's one of the coolest guy I have come across, Aditya Rane. You know, w- it's sad to see that he is not a part of the test side in the Indian team,
Right.
but yet he is performing. He is still playing. He has that passion. He wants to strive still with in the game, and I
Absolutely.
think leading KKR is one of the finest things for him still to continue the captain. I think they have a lot of trust in him because he has led Mumbai. He knows what to do. He has the technical things as a captain. And I feel that Ajinkya is one of that captain, where is not that captain where he takes instant decisions like that, but he thinks before he can make a move. I think that's what a captain always needs, a second to himself before he takes a decision. I think he's a very cool captain, very, very broad-minded, and knows how to handle the team. After Shreyas Iyer left, I think they have faith in KKR,
Absolutely.
Ajinkya Rane.
Absolutely. We enjoyed his podcast, Achinkya Rane's Marathi podcast with his mentor Praveen Amre in Marathi last week, but he's doing fine with this. Now, let me move on to Aaron. Aaron, the key players' battles are Sunil Narayan versus Travis Head. We've discussed it. Varun Chakravartis versus Klaasen. We've discussed that as well. Umran Malik versus Ishan Kishan, and Pat Cummins versus Rinku Singh. What is your overall take on these two clashes? Pat Cummins, of course, comes in later, but Umran Malik and Ishan Kishan.
Well, Ishan Kishan, he's a natural hitter. He loves to go after the ball. He wouldn't really matter who the bowler is from the other end. But talk about the pace of Umran Malik. I predict that Ishan Kishan will definitely love pace on the ball, because he's a player who really loves to especially place those flicks through the square leg and through fine leg as well. So Umran Malik used to bowl 150 plus consistently. So he needs to come up with a plan. He needs to change his pace, maybe bowl into the wicket, look for some changes, because if not, I'm pretty sure Ishan Kishan is definitely going to enjoy this wicket. And if it works right for him, Ishan Kishan is surely going to win the battle today.
Well, absolutely. The Ishan Kishan definitely has won several battles in the past, and today he looks in a fine form. In fact, we are told by our colleagues that he practiced extra an hour and a half yesterday with his batting drills, just to ensure that he got his feel of the big stadium. This is a very unique situation where both the teams come in with early losses. I mean, does that situation put pressure on the teams? Noel David, these teams, both the teams have lost their initial matches, and if you lose out on the initial part, does it play on their mind, skipper and the team strategy people?
No, I don't think so. I don't think, because it's just the start of the IPL. It's the second match. I think both of the teams are playing. I don't find that should really matter to them, because they have games in hand ahead, and KKR knows what SRH is all about. They have been playing with them so many years. So I think everything in this IPL, it all starts in the second phase of the tournament. Actual IPL starts the second phase of the tournament, because that is where the standings of each team. I think this initial period, no teams really, it does matter to them. If first game, if they lose or not, or win or not, it all depends in the second half of the IPL where they actually start. That is where, then the captains, then the coaches, everyone starts thinking about what we have to do in the second phase. But in the initial part, the first three games or the 4 to 5 games, I don't think that will matter, the first three games. But later on, it does. So I think Ajinkya Rane knows that, yes, now it's home game. We know what to do, and they know about SRH bowling side.
That's
so
correct.
naturally, they must be on a driving seat. The initial first 3 wickets, if they get SRH, the first 3 wickets, I think that will put them.
That's
SRH
curtains for
onto the back foot.
SRH. Well, moving on, let's look at an exemplary performance of Mukesh Kumar, who bowled a disciplined spell with the new ball yesterday for Delhi Capitals against LSG. We're going to take a step back and also talk about one of the big highlights of this IPL. The right arm pacer kept things tight under the power play, conceding just 17 runs, and this is why the importance is there in the match. In this 3 overs, while moving the ball both ways and troubling the leg LSG batters, Mukesh played a key role in DC's bowling effort as they registered LSG to 141, and that restriction went on to win by 6 wickets. Let's discuss Mukesh magic in the first game. Game chasing spell, LSG were cruising at 87 for 0. In the 10th over, Mukesh triggered a collapse, restricting them to 159 for 6. The second point we're looking at is the double wicket over, 13th over, that dismissed Abdul Samad with a cotton bowled and then bowled Mitchell Marsh, who batted brilliantly at 45 with a superb Yorker and making them at 110 for 4. Smart variation, mixed shot balls, slow ones and the Yorkers, death Yorkers, effectively bowling 11 dots in his 4 overs. Why we are mentioning this is because even a single dot ball in an over is celebrated. But here we have 11 dot balls in his 4 over final over finish. Hit for 3 fours early, but bounced back, bowled Bidoni and Rishabh Pant to seal the Hall player of the match with his career best IPL figures. Turn the match for DC's comfortable victory win in this. Now, let me just quickly get Noel David. Noel, the reason why we're bringing this point, and I want to congratulate my producer for bringing it, because you said that the bowlers are not celebrated. Do you think yesterday's performance was something to be celebrated for the bowler himself?
Absolutely. And we all know what Mukesh is all about. Whether he plays the domestic or whether he plays the test series or international, whatever he is there, we know what he brings into the bowling unit, especially with the new ball or the old ball. I love him when he bowls the new ball because he swings the ball. He has the art of swinging the ball to any left-handers or to the right-handers. He has that in-swingers or the out-swingers, the lateral movement. I think yesterday it did help him.
Right.
That's why it helped him a lot yesterday. The wicket from the surface itself, and along with him, as Iran said, let's not forget Nigedi also. The way he started to bowl the slow one, the combination. I think Mukesh has come a long way in his career. He played for Calcutta. He's still playing for Bengal, and he's such a guy, hardworking guy. For what I have seen him during the phase of the Ranji Trophy when we played, he's always with the ball in his hand and talking to whether it's Shami or whether it's anybody to his senior players, and taking advice from them. I think that's why he's been successful in the Test series, also in the Test matches. So this lad will be a key bowler for the Delhi Capitals at present now. I think along with the other bowlers, I think it's nice to see that at this time the bowling unit or the bowlers are being fruitful or being benefited from the wicket.
Well, absolutely. Erin, we come into the final section of our show today. Erin, what's your favorite team today for the match at the Eden Gardens? And who's going to be a standout performance for today's match?
Well, to be fair, talking about the two teams, obviously Kolkata Knight Riders are on top because looking at their batting unit, they bat deep up until Sunil Narayan. And talking about the bowlers, they are heavy on their bowling side as well. So just a quick comparison between the two teams. Batting, Kolkata Knight Riders, they bat deep. And if you take the Sunrisers Hyderabad, it's just the top 3 wickets, just like Noel David did mention. Once Klassen is done, I mean, the first 4 batters, if you manage to get them less than 50 or maybe 60 runs, I think it's going to be a very tough situation for the Sunrisers, and not much big names in the bowling lineup as well. So I would say my favorites are Kolkata Knight Riders.
Absolutely. Let's ask the Hyderabadi coach. He's definitely, Iran is not supporting the Hyderabad team, but you seem to have faith not only in Hyderabad, but the team, the lineup, the top order. What is your view, Noel David, although we know the answer?
Yeah, no, Sunil. This time I feel that, as I said before, even if SRH gets 260, 250, I don't think the bowling will support them. To be very honest, because they don't have the bowling at all. They can't depend on Pat Cummins only. If you see the last game, they opened the bowling attack with Nitish Reddy.
Yes.
So I don't think they have that kind of bowlers who can restrict the KKR batting order. As Iran said, they bat very deep. So I think I put my money on KKR this time because I'm not going to put it on SRH with their batting. They have to be a unit with all-round department.
Well, absolutely. That must be one of the most hurtful things you've said as a Hyderabadi player who's represented Hyderabad for several decades. Well, that's all we had time for. This is Sunil Ashkalra signing off on a Cricketer show. Don't go anywhere else. We'll be back after a short commercial break. Stay tuned.